Hi everyone, I'm Dramabeans.
And Girl Friday.
And welcome to our year-end vlog about our least favorite dramas of the year.
Sponsored by Soju.
I wish, but we came prepared. Let's put it that way.
We need some Somek to talk about the worst dramas of the year because there are a lot of them.
Oh, we're out. Oh no.
Don't worry, there's more. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Let's start with straight up our least favorite dramas of the year.
Manhole? But, you know, I don't know if that counts because I didn't finish it or anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we do sort of have an unofficial rule about not feeling qualified to discount something until we've seen the whole thing, or at least, I don't know, 15 of 16 episodes.
Like enough of it to be, you know, because like last year I saw enough of Entourage to be like, that was the worst drama of the year.
Yes, I don't think anyone would argue with you on that point. I think Manhole was pretty bad though. We watched enough of it to know that it wasn't great, and then I feel like anyone who did watch it kind of corroborated that.
You know what it was? Is what made me think of Entourage is because Manhole has a similar thing in that it had the worst hero. Like I didn't know why I should root for this guy. Mm-hmm. He was a loser and a slacker who didn't take every opportunity to confess his feelings for Yui.
Yes.
I don't remember her name in the drama,
yes.
But like the girl he had a crush on since high school, and then like he continued this way for years and years and years. And
when your loserdom is entirely your own fault,
yes.
It's really hard to get beyond.
And like even your parents don't like you anymore because you're just
right?
like such a loser.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done.
And then he gets a second chance to go back in time and right that ship, but then I don't know if that he earned that second trip back. Usually, a lot of times when, like in Go Back passes, which we talked about, you know, in the best, I feel like they earned it or they deserved it or, you know, something went awry and you really wanted them to get back together. But in this case, I was like, I don't know why he gets a freebie.
Or like, if you go back, you learn something.
Yes.
You know, which Son Ho-jun did, but Taejung did not, I think.
Well, we'll never know because we'll never watch it. So there is an asterisk because if you think we're being too harsh, let us know. I really don't know that that's a challenge that anyone's gonna.
But maybe it gets better. I don't know.
I saw the ratings, and the ratings really don't mean much. Except I think within the show you can tell when they kind of keep going down, and you started off at the bottom. You just keep digging new bottom. I want to put Bride of the Water God up here.
Yes, that I actually did finish, so I can talk about that. Because, I mean, that was disappointing on many fronts. First of all, because it's such a beloved manhwa, and you took it out of that like historical fantasy world and then put it in the modern day. And then you cast Nam Ji-hyuk and Shin Se-kyung, and already it's disappointing.
Yes. You know, it's really interesting because taken individually, I feel like Shin Se-kyung is not a bad actress. She can be bad at times, but I actually think a lot of times I'm like, oh, she's not that bad. I kind of like her, but I don't like her.
She's not terrible. I just don't have any like warm, fuzzy feelings towards her.
And Nam Ji-hyuk in that role, I know he got a lot of flack for it, but I actually thought it was funny because I thought he was doing his Goblin Gongyu act like through a parody lens, and I don't know if that's giving him too much credit, but I saw it through like the absurdity lens of this is how it's supposed to be.
I thought the effect was funny.
Yes.
Because, you know, he was a god who was rendered powerless, right? So it was funny that he was like hungry all the time.
원래 닭다리는 연장자의 몫입니다.
And had no powers and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then the drama plot as a whole was such a disappointment.
I just kept waiting for it to be exciting and then it was really boring the whole way through. And then also I think Kong Myung and Crystal were terrible, like as characters, but also as actors and as characters. Like I can't tell you which was worse. They were awful.
No, it was like a whole energy suck all around.
Yeah. Oh, Criminal Minds, I have to say, just because
I did not watch that.
I never liked the American show because I thought it was kind of repetitive and boring, like just too much killing, like serial killer and serial killer. Like it just wasn't a premise that appealed to me. But then I don't know how you make that worse.
But isn't it supposed to be about profiling?
Yes.
Is it actually about profiling?
Yes, it's only about profiling. I mean, you have Lee Jung-gi and Moon Se-won who kind of like, I've been dying for this pair up and I've been wondering why it hadn't happened sooner, and now I'm really bummed that they burned it on this. And I know they could still do something together in the future, really romantic and probably historical.
Was it romantic at all?
No! No! I mean, I think maybe if this Criminal Minds were given like more years, which it doesn't deserve. But if it were given like 10 years like the American show, maybe in season 10 they might like go on a date.
But this is why I don't watch American shows anymore, because who has 10 years to give to a romance, like one romance?
And this is, they did the thing that a lot of Korean crime procedurals do, is that they kind of have a criminal and then they profile him perfectly. And then they catch him. And then there's another criminal and they profile him perfectly. And you're like, what is the excitement of you just are given, it's almost like breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Like there's no actual like along for the ride feeling. You just kind of like one step out after the other. And then you have this amazing cast and they're just wasted. So I'm really,
basically it's Lee Joon-gi's fault that you even watch this drama, right?
And Moon Chae-won. I mean, I think I have to say that it's a bit more his fault because he was good in it and she sucked. But then, I mean, it wasn't her fault. Her character was just a wet blanket. It's just that he was written to at least get to run every episode and have a chase scene and a fight scene because he's Lee Joon-gi and he does his own stunts. And she was just like there. They're both probably the fault because I wanted them together. I think that Lee Joon-gi with a bad, counterpart wouldn't have made me watch this. I'm really bummed that it sucked so hard and that I was editing the recaps so that I had to keep watching them.
It is what it is. I mean, I had similar feelings this year towards Ruler, Master of the Mask, because I was really excited about the pairing. It's Yoo Sung-ho, who I love. I will always watch his dramas no matter what. Yes. And then Kim So-yeon, who I also love. So them together, it seemed like an epic sageuk with, just a great premise where he has another king stand in for him.
While we're on the subject, I have to show you this emoji because
this is so funny.
The second leads were terrible in this drama. There was Yoon So-hee and L, and L got a lot of praise for being better, but he was still not good.
Well, better from how L used to be is it's a low bar.
It's acorns, right?
He was better.
But here's his better.
I mean, that's him being angry, like in a sincere way.
Yes. I have to say that because the second leads actually had quite a big role in both the romance and the plot, like they almost had more of a role than the leads.
This is the thing that pissed me off. You have Yoo Sung-ho and Kim So-yeon in a romance, but they're always apart.
Yes.
For like most of the drama. And I was like, who wrote this? This is so stupid.
And if you spend most of the time with people you don't like, especially Yoon So-hee, she was awful. And like I have liked Yoon So-hee in the past, but I think not anymore. No. I think she's been bad enough times in a row.
But especially in this drama.
Yeah.
And so like the two leads spent more time with the second leads who were terrible. And then the plot just went to Crazyville. And I stopped watching. At some point, like I had watched enough of it to be like, I really should just finish this drama because I could, have said I could finish it, but...
Well, you get to the point this year. This year was the year of the unfinished drama with like one episode left.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it.
Yes, because every year in the past, I would force myself to watch because it's the sunk cost fallacy of like, I put 19 hours into this, I can watch one more.
Yeah, that gets me through a lot of dramas, though.
Yes. And this year I was like, fuck that, no. The 1 hour is precious. I can do a lot of things in an hour, like sleep or stare into space.
Or shower or whatever.
It was not worth it. I have to say that this year I had a lot fewer beans for the bean count poll thingy because I just gave up on a lot of them. I think if I had, sat through, I would have had like 10 more, but I said no.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad because I do still feel that pull of like, I can't really talk about it completely knowledgeably if I haven't seen the last episode.
It just happened to be this year's dramas though, I think.
Yeah.
They were especially kind of meh.
Yeah.
Which is why we need drinks.
Yes, drink more. Top that off.
Mine was already strong to begin with. Oh, maybe you didn't put any in yours. Why do I feel like I'm losing here?
Well, we can talk about more specific things about like disappointing performances, which I will have to say.
Everybody in Ruler?
Well, yes, but let's put that aside for a moment. I want to talk about like people who have been really good because Yoo Sung-ho and Kim So-yeon were still okay in Ruler. I want to say Choi Si-won was so good in She Was Pretty that I probably stupidly got my hopes up for Revolutionary Love.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. He was not good in that. I, again, did not watch every single episode.
But the character was written to be so stupid.
But I have to put some blame on Siwon because he played him retarded. Can I say that? I mean, I can say that when I mean the word retarded. Like, because he was so lacking in common sense that I didn't follow his logic a lot of times. I get the doofus who doesn't do the right thing and he, is really sheltered and doesn't know what to do. But he played him almost like an imbecile.
Yeah, he was like a kind of lacking a couple of marbles there.
Yes, and so I feel like that was really disappointing to me because that was an acting and a writing thing. So he could have made that better, but he didn't. I don't really think that the plot is worth speaking of. It's just, a disappointing drama all around.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say Gong Myung, because we loved him in Drinking Solo last year.
And he was really cute and entertainer too. So that was where I first saw him, and I thought, he's a good up-and-comer, and he has a lot of potential, and he was super cute.
And then he did a lot of work this year, and most of it was bad. And I have to say that if he didn't do the 2-episode indie, was a drama special, Individuals Chiang, where he was good and interesting and kind of a little edgy, then I would have written him off entirely as an idol who can't act.
Because of Bride of the Water God, right?
No, because Bride of the Water God and Revolutionary Love.
Oh, I forgot he was in that. That's right, he was terrible in that too.
So I do feel like he showed a glimmer and then he kind of outed his own spark, like he blew it out himself.
But he was so good in Drinking Solo.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. You can't do two really back-to-back dramas where he was pissy in both. And I think pissy does not go far.
No.
It's one thing to be negative or sad, but pissy, no. Oh, Park Hae-soo in Introverted Boss. I mean, that drama was such a
that was a
roller
disappointment.
coaster. I mean, I think it had moments. And Yeonho-jin was amazing. I would still think it was worth having made for Yeonho-jin's performance.
Yes, he was great in it, but then he's always great. The thing is, she was so miscast. But also, the character was written badly. So it's another thing of it's double whammy, like Siwon in Revolutionary Love, where her character was crazy and you didn't like her from the start. So it was just such an uphill battle, and then she was an unknown.
I think that she was pushed too hard by management, and it undid the goodwill she did by Age of Youth. Mm-hmm. And then she pulled out of Age of Youth too. So I think she kind of went one step forward and 1.5 steps back.
She basically lost all of the goodwill.
Yeah. I want to say there was a lot of bad chemistry this year, or non-existent chemistry.
There was a lot of bad chemistry.
Yeah. I mean, either ones that, there's some that, you thought should have worked better, but kind of didn't pull you in. I want to say Revolutionary Love with Siwon and Kang Sora. You thought it was going to be magical and sparked, even with a bad story, but turns out the bad story wins.
The worst for me was Reunited Worlds, where... Yeonhi just seemed like Yeojingu's aunt or something.
Yeah.
It was really,
I know the whole point is that he stops aging. He's 19, and then he comes back as 19, while everyone else
she's 32 or whatever.
31, yeah.
The thing is, I love Nuno romances, so if it works, it really works for me. Yoo-in and Kim Hee, amazing. They had such smoldering chemistry. It's not the age gap necessarily, or the setup.
Drama was also, it didn't help by being really chaste to the point of stupidity.
Yes.
I feel like this is the problem a lot of Korean dramas have is you're so pure that the characters in this world that we live in seem kind of stupid. Mm-hmm. So I think that was kind of...
It was a childish drama with childish characters. And one of them was played by a child. So it was just all around anti-chemistry.
Yeah. I want to say hospital ship, but I can't really vouch for it 100% because I noped out of that really fast. Please tell us.
One episode.
I just
or
didn't
no, 2
buy
episodes? Maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 maybe. But I didn't really buy the chemistry between Ha-ji-won and Kang Min-hyuk because again, it just didn't, I don't know, they didn't gel for me.
I think this is another case of Kang Min-hyuk kind of building slowly on his resume, and this one kind of undoing some of that work.
The thing is, I think he's fine as an idol actor and a rising actor. It's just that romance did not work for me.
The drama. I think the drama wasn't a great character for him. I think the drama was really only Ha-ji-won, and so if you were not Ha-ji-won, you did not benefit. Mm-hmm. And even if you were Ha-ji-won, you kind of didn't benefit. I just don't think she took a hit because she saved it.
Hospital ship just was there.
Oh, you know, I have to say Tomorrow With You is not a good chemistry ship for me. Probably because they got married on false premises, or pretenses.
I think it was a little hard to root for the romance at times because he felt like a con man.
He was a con man.
This was a guy who saw his own future and then, went back in time and kind of made his own, he fulfilled his own prophecy.
You know what I wanted? I wanted him to be like, well, future me fell in love with her, so I'm going to give her a chance and fall in love with her. Yeah. Instead, he was like, well, future me married her, I guess I'll marry her now.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yes. So I really didn't buy that. I really thought she held that drama up for me. Mm-hmm. She was really winsome and loving and charming, and he was kind of like, I don't like you, but I love you as an actor, but I don't like you. So I did not like that drama as a whole.
You know who else didn't have chemistry is Man to Man.
Oh, yeah, because I thought it really, really worked as him, the agent, trying to romance somebody fakely, as part of the mission.
And the bromance was great in that drama.
But once the romance turned real,
yes,
I was like,
then it was no. That's the thing. When it was fake, it was funny.
Yeah.
And because she was confused, and then he was trying to get her on his side and clearly not interested. But then when it turned real, it was I
don't buy it.
It was too sincere for what the show was.
I think there were a lot of bad superpowers this year.
Like the Manhole?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's Manhole. Well, I don't know if it was his superpower or the Manhole having a superpower, but Manhole was just a bad gimmick to begin with.
Actually, the Tomorrow With You, that subway was stupid because, okay, first of all, he could only go a year or two ahead to where, the point at which he dies.
But he used it to shop for things.
Yes, he would come back with the new fashion from 2018, and you're like, really? This is what you use your freaking superpower for?
I'm gonna die an unnatural early death, but I'm gonna use the superpower to buy cool shit.
And bring back ramyeon that nobody has
or
in this era.
Or sneakers that I won't let anyone see because they're not revealed yet.
It was basically it's okay, the superpower itself is cool, but the worst use of it.
Yes, that's true. That's another case of why would you do that? There's no sense of urgency of I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna also get rich.
Especially since at the end of the drama, he just walks into his death. That's not how it ends, but he walks towards the inevitable fate anyway. So it's literally the worst use of superpowers ever.
Isn't that Final Destination if at the end you're okay, death, take me?
Yes, just take me.
I mean, I think we could go on and on, but I think we covered the big bases of what really sucked this year. Mm-hmm. We're really looking forward to what next year brings, just because it has to be better, right?
It has to be.
We did not jinx it. But thanks for watching.
Hopefully you drink along with us, otherwise we sound like a couple of crazy people.
Yes, but thanks for watching our year-end and reading our year-end reviews, and we'll see you in the new year.
Bye!
Bye, everyone!